put some spring in your step.
Ash had a really bad game. Terrible game. My Vayne, we were doing really good. We had some bad exchanges bot after we literally got Vayne like 3 kills. And then Vayne says something about me dying, and I said something about her diving under tower and taking a bunch of tower damage. And she gets pissed at me and basically proceeds to throw the entire game by just going by and never grouping with the team. In a game that we literally could have won if she had just grouped. All because of the fact that as far as I'm concerned, I gave her a tip. She gave me a tip, which was maybe it would help if I did X, and I gave her a tip of that situation, which was that, you know, maybe it would help if, you know, she didn't take a bunch of tower damage and dive people under tower just to get kills. And she took offense to that. She called my comment dumb. I told her that, you know, my comment was a tip. You gave me a tip. It doesn't make sense that, you know, my tip is any less offensive than yours. Because you take it as it is. Because 1, it's text. 2, I mean, you know, if you want to say something to me, you can say something to me all you want. Don't expect me to just, you know, not say anything back to you. It all goes back to the fact of the matter that ADC is one of the dumbest roles known to man. Any ADC main, I like most ADC mains. I'm not gonna say all of them. I'm going to say at least 75% of them are dumb as shit. They don't give a fuck about anybody else, and if they're not fed, they're not having a good game. It doesn't matter if fucking top laner is 10-2. If they're not fucking 18-3 by 15 minutes, they're already pissed. I mean, Doublelift is a prime example of an individual who does not, in the pro aspect of things, he's a prime example of an individual that you literally cannot tell him anything, and if it's not something that literally makes him stroke his own dick, then he gets pissed about it. I mean, you look at old school CLG. Old school CLG is literally a situation where they were like, well, we just gotta feed Doublelift, man, and we'll win, because, you know, if we don't feed him, he's gonna get pissed. But, you know, he's ass. It's like when the ADC situation was happening and ADCs were supposedly unplayable. He was the only one that was literally, well, he was the main one bitching about how ADC was a terrible position and how he wanted Riot to change it back instead of doing things like Reckless done, which was, you know, be a good player and adjust to the situation and, you know, actually learn all of these champions that people like jungle have to learn. People like top lane have to learn. People like mid lane, support, have to learn because their position shifts and the archetype of champions that are good in it change because of that. Because Riot changes things. Yes, there's going to be bitching. Yes, you're going to have to, you know, get used to it. But if changes happen, you need to adapt to change instead of basically doing, you know, what your stereotypical ADC does, which is bitch because they don't get their way, like a little child. It's as simple as that. And my bot lane's losing right now. I need to gank bot. But I mean, you know, what am I going to do? They have like no life. They have like no life. As far as I'm concerned, this is warded. There's no way for me to approach bot lane without being seen. And if I get seen, they're just going to back up. Because, you know, I'm not lightning fast. Because, you know, most people take celerity and the water walking shit, and in reality, unless you're literally going to have all of your fights by dragon or baron or just, you know, in the river in general, both of those things are pointless on 90% of the people that you're going to play them on. There are literally only pro runes because of the amount of rotating that pro players do. It's the same situation as, you know, the most popular Pyke page, the most popular Kha'Zix page in anything but Diamond is going to be Dark Harvest, regular, you know, sudden impact, all that jazz, and then the secondary is going to be the absolute focus, Gathering Storm. Now, if you look at the Diamond page, you're probably going to get something like Magical Footwear and Cosmic Insight. Why? Because those two things have greater value in a game where people are more coordinated. But in a situation where you're basically diamond and below, and possibly the only thing dictating your success is how well you can snowball, those things don't matter at all. Not a bit. All that matters is that you get fed, and by you getting fed, you carry the game. And if you can't do that, then guess what? You're gonna lose. I don't know why he's ulting there. Bypass. He gave it way too easy. Kane might die for it too. Yep, Kane's gonna die for it. She might die. Yeah, she's gonna die. I was gonna re-enter the fight, but then Fiora showed up, and I couldn't. Cause I can't, you know, I can't go back in, pop passive, and then live through Zed and Fiora. I can live through Zed potentially with Akali still alive, but not both of them. So you know that was the situation that that was unavoidable. What we're gonna do? We're gonna go up here to Gromp, and we're gonna get Gromp down to Wolves, down to Red. Because we're going to sit there, we're going to try to route ourselves down to bot lane and try to get this Infernal Drake as quick as possible. Luckily, bot lane sat there and got the scuttle for me because they were contesting it. Unfortunately, top lane died to Fiora, which means Fiora's going to push this lane out a little bit. She might go for the tower damage, but I don't think she'll have time. Darius comes up in like 2 seconds. Really short death timers right now, even though it's 7 minutes. We're doing really good on farm so far. I mean, it is what it is. They have ult now. Blue's still not back up. So we're going to skip blue. We're not going to wait on it. No point in ganking top lane. Because, we don't have any wards on the situation. And she also has 4 kills already. Which is really bad. And, the general consensus is that, you're going to get yelled at as jungle. Because there's a 4-0 top laner right now. And, they need help. Help is fine and dandy when you can have control of the situation, but she is above him in like she's above him in CS by like 4, which isn't a detriment big enough to matter. But her being above him in CS and having 4 kills over him is a huge advantage, which means that when she goes back, she's going to buy a lot of things that are going to make her really strong. So the worst case scenario that could possibly happen is that we let her roam around the map and get kills. So we have to keep tabs on her at all times, similar to how we have to keep tabs on Kayn right now. Kayn's bot right now, ganking them because of the fact that they're literally under the enemy team's tower. I don't really know what they're doing, but they seem fairly healthy. Jinx seems to be fairly low health. They're definitely going to move in on here because they have ultimates up. As you know, Jinx just displayed. Nothing I can do about the Nautilus situation if he dies. I try to get close enough to where I can get into the fight and do some damage. I got there really late, but I managed to get boots on lower cooldown, so I got them relatively on time. I can't get Dragon by myself. I just don't do enough damage at the current state of the game. Kane's up anyway, and he's already really behind, being almost 20 CS under me, as well as dying twice already. So Kane's pretty bad. I think if I can get a control of the situation, bot lane, I could probably do something. I'm gonna try to go get blue and head towards top. I might actually stay mid. But yeah, instead just shoot Shadow. Oh, but unfortunately, flashed. Nothing I can do about it. Darius managed to shut down Fiora by himself, which is really good. It's really good on his part. He probably played that really well, I suppose. Either that or Fiora played it very very poorly. It's not really a good situation for him up there still, because it's 1 kill. It's a good shutdown, and it's good that it went on him, because then it makes it more easy for him to situate and get back into a position where he can basically fight her evenly or stay in lane better.
Let's bounce.
We're gonna get wolves and we're gonna head back bot, because there's gonna be a lot of action bot lane because their Infernal Drake is still up. Kayn can't sneak it because Kayn's really behind, which means Kayn probably doesn't have nearly enough reform. That's the problem when you play Kayn, because you run into a situation where you just don't have. You need activity in lane to do things. As you can see from here, I'm trying to get the activity by yanking Akali. Now, generally speaking, this isn't a terrible situation. It is bad that, you know, everybody's a part of this now, though. That's actually pretty bad. But it worked out well, surprisingly. Pulling her back, flashing, getting the damage. Jinx is gonna get killed because she focused on me and stayed in Nautilus' auto attack range. It should be a free tower. Sorry, typing. I know I was off screen. Zed might try to come in and kill me. Actually, no, he's gonna get the one shot on Akali. Managed to get the kill on him with enough CC though. So, you know, that's better. We can't get Dragon now though, and we also didn't get Tower because Zed insta-killed Akali, which is really poor. Oh, but now let's got it. With the minions' help, which is good. That's good. We got first tower. That's a huge objective. Pushes our bonus up a little bit. I believe we gave up first blood, though. Zed's mistaken. He thinks that I die when he kills me. A lot of players do that. They think that I die when they kill me. And that's why I play this character a lot, because he's really effective at making plays, and he's also a tank, so he's good in the late game, which mainly is something that happens depending on how players are playing. In Silver, you know, games really go on long because of poor performance as well as bad decisions. Zed's mid. Akali went top, rotated top to get a gank off. It didn't really go anywhere, it seems like. Lulu is coming up that way though. Zed's gonna try to push for tower so that he can match up. As bot's gonna push for tower. I'm gonna come in and see if I can get some damage on him. Got some good damage. Nothing outside of that I can do. Bot's gonna manage to pick up bot tower. That's a good move. We need to start trying to rotate towards Dragon though. It's really bad that I do not know where my control ward was, but I just killed it wherever it was and placed it there. Need to be on Dragon. Zed had to back because he was so low from the exchange, and he definitely doesn't want to stick around in lane with Akali around. It can easily burst him, so that's definitely a free Dragon. Probably the move now is to try to rotate towards top lane. We can't really kill Zed. Zed will just dash out, even though he's already used dash. So this is perfect. This is actually a perfect opportunity to go in on him because he has no escape. His only escape is the ultimate, which is what she did there, which means that this might be a free turret. Kane's gonna try to come in here. Thinks he's gonna miss Rocket, which is really good. Unfortunately, Nautilus is gonna die because of the situation. They don't want to step forward because they don't want to get caught in my ult. That's a good move by them. I have to give them a thumbs up on that one. I'm gonna try to bait them in because I have passive up, which means I'm gonna come back up after my blobs come back. And it also gives them an opportunity to get some damage off. Unfortunately, the exchange went really bad for us. Well, it didn't really go really bad for us. It's just that they didn't kill Fiora fast enough, and Fiora got proc off of killing Akali. That was probably the worst part about that situation. And then, you know, Jinx gets cleaned up because of it. You know, I die because You know, I can't fight Jinx.
Fighting is in my blood.
This may be this. I don't. No, it can't. I don't remember the name of the Vayne from last game. I mean, if I was to guess off of position, I would assume this is the Fizz. Did you know I had a Fizz from last game? He talked a lot. And all chat.
Just another day on the job. Why, thanks.
That's unfortunate. I can throw caution to the wind there, but it's really a bad idea with my passive down.
I never skip breakfast.
And it's not really integral that I kill Kayn. What is integral is that I make sure that she's alive. He didn't get too much damage off.
Mom said I was big for my
Get some CC off on him. He's dead. Good job. Good shit. That was a really dangerous move for her because he could have easily killed her. I got caught by Jinx's traps because my jump isn't actually a jump. Fuck Riot's. Riot's way of doing things. Careful, careful, careful. Good shit. Get that tower. Yeah, it's the Fizz from last game.
Everybody's a crank.
They're pinging Baron, but I mean, we can't really get Baron. Actually, we could. We could get Baron right now.
Let's bounce.
Managed to get Rift before it went off the board. He didn't get any damage off. He already used his spells before he went in. That was really poor play by him. Fiora can't defend this tower. Not going to use Rift yet because it's going to be pointless because we would have gotten this tower without Rift. We want to use Rift when we can get things without Rift. See, like right now, like we can get this tower right now without Rift Herald still, because I don't need to use Rift. We can still get this tower without Rift Herald, because I don't need to use Rift. This timer on Zed is still still up. Now, Zed's back. I mean, what Zed's gonna do is Zed's gonna immediately come in and he's gonna try to get on my ADC. We're gonna start Rift Herald now, so that Rift Herald has and back, so that way Rift Herald has the most amount of HP going into that inhibitor. And there's a very small chance that we can end the game because Rift Herald is still up for this exchange. I just got passive back, which means I can play a little risky. Nah, I can't because I messed up and I'm dumbass and I didn't dodge that fucking skill shot. I also wasted my jump. I want to throw down Stone Plate, but it might not save me. No. not gonna die. Hero's gonna get a lot. That wasn't terrible. We overstayed, and I definitely played it. I played it wrong because you know I didn't dodge Jinx Rocket, which was poor play on my part. Because you know Jinx Rocket popped my passive, which means that you know I couldn't do my risky things anymore. And if I had my passive, then I would have had better time. We would have a better time in that fight because I would have been able to use passive instead on more important things, like when Fiora decided to go in. Now we're in a poor position because everybody's down, including Akali, and we just lost pressure on bot lane because of that, and which means that they can easily get this dragon here if they rotate fast enough. Well, I mean, they don't even have to rotate, really. Yeah, see, they're already at it. What I expected. I'm gonna get out, and I'm gonna let Darius tank the majority of that, because my health is incredibly low. I have to pick up Bloblets. I need the healing against Kayn. That went better than I expected. And that should be our dragon. That was a really off rocket. I don't know what that was aimed at. It might have been aimed at me. Because I don't have passive mode, which means that she could have killed me if that had hit. But I do have Warmogs, which means I'm full health again. Because of Warmog's passive allows me to generate enough health to basically, you know, as long as I'm not in a fight, it doesn't matter. Which is why I got out of that fight and let Darius come at the front. Because Darius isn't going to instantly die. And it also allows me the ability to regenerate my health with Warmogs as a result. Miss Fortune took a lot of damage, but again, it's not going to kill because Zed doesn't get enough damage off. If Zed wasn't so behind, basically what its situation is that Zed can insta-kill people, right? But if Zed's really behind, and you know, if Zed wasn't so behind, then maybe he would have a better situation. Ooh! That was almost my blunder. I almost let Miss Fortune die there. Because I just completely fucked up my jump, my Q. My ultimate only bounced him up instead of throwing him because I didn't charge it long enough. That was just poor on my part. But I mean, that was a pretty good game. Darius gets tilt proof because Darius could have easily tilted when he was really behind Fiora with those 4 kills that she had. So I'll give it to Darius. Nihilus did really well, and so did Miss Fortune though. Bot lane is really good.